Hello, everybody. This is Kyrix with another episode of This Week in Kyrix. Today is for the week of Wednesday, July 10th, 2019, and it's being recorded Tuesday, July 9th, 2019, at about 11:30 at night. and I'm playing with my new-ish controller. I got my controller skins in today. I had originally wanted to get colored controllers, because though the PS4 comes with a black controller, I wanted to get a red one. They didn't have any red ones in, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll just pay like $5 or whatever it is and get some skins later. And I could have sworn I'd ordered a red one, but apparently I went with green and blue. So I've got the green in my hand. It feels weird. Not bad, it just feels wet. Kind of. It's not wet as in, oh, there's moisture on this. It has that feeling of that wrong feeling when you get something wet on you. You know what I mean? So, that's a thing. Oh, that was kind of cool. Okay. Man, I wish this game were two players. Could you imagine running a Cyclops like this? Or having one person stay in the Cyclops while the other one's prawning around? Okay. Alright, let me just do a quick check of my inventory here, because I've been playing solo on my game. Not on this, but on my game. And, there are some differences between the two games, if you get my meaning. For example, in my game, I have a base in just the depths of the sea at like 400 feet or something like that. So, what am I looking for? I know I want to get that, there's a word for it, the plasteel. Because I want to get my Cyclops up and running. Alright, so I've got lithium, that's good. Let's put this in there, this. So you can go in the locker full of locker. Let's get some of these out to make room for this. So, I've been playing a lot of Star Trek Online. I actually restarted the entire project. I deleted my my Federation character, which was only, tutorial area. I have not yet deleted my Romulan character, but I have started a new one, specifically a Reman character. I bought the Reman race, so I have that now. Yeah, let's take a look. No, not climb. And I'm starting over from scratch, so I'm gonna need... I've got most of this shit. Gonna need a lot of titanium, though. So, yeah, I also did a rather big, ambitious project that I'm going to have to, not project, video. It's bigger than my usual videos by far. No, get out of there. And this one consists of basically a mega tutorial, for lack of a better term. A mega tutorial because it's like 24 segments long. Each segment's anywhere from 2 to 6 minutes, and I'm basically going through all the ins and outs. Like, okay, here's how, phasers work. Here's how beams versus cannons work. Here's what kinds of torpedoes there are, etc. And I go through all the major ones. There are a couple that I miss, but I get all the main categories and a couple of the subcategories as well. And the whole point of this is just to show this off in one video that will be linked with all the other ones, so that I don't have to fuck with it later, you know? The whole point being, hey, I want to do this one time. So the idea is each Let's Play is going to have its own segment. It's going to have the tutorial for whatever I am, whether it's Federation, Klingon, Discovery, Romulan, whatever. And I'm just going to do the tutorial, like you do. And after the tutorial, I will have this video, which basically says, hey, if you've already seen this, go ahead and skip it, because it's the same shit. You know, and it just goes through all the major stuff, so that I'm not having to pause each time and explain, these are what plasma torpedoes do. This is what the power levels mean, and so on. And that's recorded, I just have to splice it together. Which, apparently, Share Factory is being a dick about. Which is weird, because I could have sworn I've spliced together videos that were over an hour together before, but what do I fucking know? So I'll find another program that'll, splice them together without losing any of the video quality. I don't know exactly what that would be, but I know something like that exists, and hopefully it's free. Alright, so, it's one of those things, okay. Now, the problem with this is I have to be real careful where I go with it, because if I go into the wrong area, I will not be able to get back up, and I will have to walk the long way around. Shouldn't be a problem. I don't think the depth here gets to the point where I have to worry about this thing crushing itself. And the depth, the crush depth thing is contextual, meaning if I go to 901 meters, it's not nearly as bad as, say, going to, you know, 1,500 meters. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, the Star Trek thing, I'm gonna give. I put up a video basically saying, hey, I want to audition people to do this Let's Play with me. If you're interested, hit me up. There's multiple ways to get a hold of me, and I've exhausted just about every avenue I can to do this, to get, you know, people together to do this with me. And if no one wants to do it, I just gonna have to bite the bullet and do it myself. And I didn't want to do it myself because I don't want to have fucking 8 videos of doing the same shit. But if no one will fucking do it with me, what have I got left, you know? Wait, there's titanium in this. So yeah, if you're at all interested in getting free shit, I cannot stress that enough, free shit for Star Trek Online, hit me up. Leave a comment. Go to that video, leave a comment, you know. Tell me, because I want collab partners. It requires very little of you. It's... Oh, hi. Come here, fucker. All it requires of you is you have to have a PS4. That's non-negotiable. They're not cross-platform. You know, I can't link up with the PC or the Xbox One. At least I don't think I can do Xbox One. And, God damn it. And you have to make it to sessions. You know, you can't just fuck off and do your own thing over and over again and expect to get picked. Because here's the thing, I've got to spend the money either way. If you're going to jerk me around, then I may as well spend it on myself and have these things to keep, instead of giving it to someone who's not gonna fucking hold up their end of the bargain. But the other thing, and this is a bit negotiable in an odd way, is you do have to have a headset for the PlayStation 4. But you do not have to have one for the vetting process. That's as simple as having some kind of microphone with which to communicate via Discord. Because when we're just doing the vetting process and doing gaming shit together, you can just get me on Discord either through your phone or through a computer and just voice chat with me there. Because if you get picked to do this with me, if you're vetted and you fucking make the cut, and you don't have a headset, I will send you one. I will fucking mail you a headset. I have extras lying around. Because, quite frankly, the roommate had a headset, and he never used it, so when I got my PlayStation, I snagged it. Or, before I got my PlayStation, I snagged it. I brought all my stuff and that one thing into my room, so that it wouldn't get packed away with all the shit that never sees the light of day again. Then when I got my own headset, or my own PS4, I decided to get my own headsets. 2 of them, one for me, one for Reaper, not realizing that the model I was grabbing was the same one that my roommate already had. So I have 3 headsets of the same type, 2 of which are actually identical. And then I went and got myself this 2-ear headset that I use for myself, at least for solo projects, bringing me up to 4. So if you need a headset and you're part of my collab, I will fucking mail you one. Worst case scenario, I'm already dumping like $150. I'll go to Walmart, use my discount, and pick one up for $10. You know, I will hook you up. If that's what it takes to get people to help me, I'll fucking hook you up. But if a couple months go by and I'm not getting any fucking hits, then fuck it, I'll do the whole thing myself. I mean, what else can I do, right? Oh my god, I'm almost full up on salt. Not that that's a bad thing. But I'm kind of excited. It's gonna be a bit before I can make any more big purchases for a bit, because I had some issues. Matter of fact, I actually had to borrow another $30 from the roommate the other day because I have, for the cats, a product called Kitnip Box. It's basically a loot crate for your cats. And I was convinced that it was going to ship out on the 15th. And no, it actually decided to pay for itself on the 8th. And I had like $2 in the bank at the time, and it's charging me like 30. Oh, I'm like, what the fuck? I know what the fuck. The fuck in this case is that I tripped a doodle. I plugged in the prawn. So, we're gonna have to go and get this elsewhere. You know what, let me grab the materials to make this, because otherwise I'm just gonna have a bad time. What do I need? Lithium?
Emergency power only. Oxygen production offline.
I'm not gonna lie, I really like how creepy this looks. I really do. But yeah, like I said, if no one fucking hits me up on this, if I can't get a hold of Sammy and Reaper consistently, or I can get a hold of one but not the other, and I can't find another person, then I'll just do the whole thing myself. I'll just do, like, oh, these are my Klingon battlecruisers, these are my Raptors, these are my birds of prey, this is my engineer, my scientist, my tactical, this is Discovery, this is Kirk era, etc. But yeah, what happened was the Kitnip box, it charged for itself. It basically paid for itself, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna take $30 out, and I'm like, I only have 2. It's like, yeah, that's your problem, buddy. So I basically had to have him send me $30, and he's like, well, you need to keep better track of this shit. I'm like, dude, it wasn't supposed to hit for another week. What do you want from me? You know, it wasn't my fault. But I'm about to be very upset, aren't I? Oh well. I'm still going to make the enameled glass, which means I'm going to need to find some quartz pretty soon. But yeah, he sent that to me. The thing is, I had it already allocated. I have the money for it. I just don't currently possess the money for it. You know what I mean? It's really just as simple as when my check hits, pulling out the money that would have gone to it anyway and giving it to him instead, because Kitnipbox already has theirs. And yes, for the record, I did make the adjustments in my my app that keeps track of my finances and shit, so that I will not be blindsided this way again. But as soon as I get some money, just for freebies, you know, I am gonna take $60 and get the temporal cruiser set or whatever it is, whatever it's called for the Star Trek, because then I can do my original series run with all those ships. And honestly, the way it's looking right now, I don't think I'm gonna do a full-on Discovery run, because Star Trek Discovery just seems to have one ship, just one. There's a ship that you get to play as from like tiers 1 through 3. It just basically levels as you go. And then you've got a bunch of tier 6 ships, and then that's it. Then you're done. So, wow, that was good timing actually.
Power restored. All primary systems online.
Now, before I waste all these resources, let me make sure. Yeah, I need another one. Okay. Alright, how much power does this thing have? Because I'm going to need to drop it if it doesn't quit. Oh wow, it took a beating. Somehow. Alright, so let me get that. I'm about to make this thing have the king of all fits. Ooh, prawn suit fragments specifically. Interesting. You have my attention. But yeah, what I'll probably do is I'll get that one ship for Discovery. I'll do all the stuff leading up to the point where it crosses over with the regular Federation shit, and then I'll just stop. I mean, I'll do all of the original series just because there are ships to show off for the original series, as opposed to, say, Discovery, where I have one ship and like half a dozen tier 6s. Now, to be fair, the way tier 6s work now, I could easily get them all and just run a different one every tier as though it were that ship. But really, no. Because here's the thing. When you get, say, all of the... let's say, for example, that I didn't own any of the science vessels, which I don't. But let's say I don't own any science vessels, and I want to get science vessels so I can run a science officer. Here's how that's going to work. Assuming I don't wait for a sale, which, let's be honest, I'm probably going to. The first one, the tier 1, would cost me $5. Tier 2 would be $10. Tier 3, $15. So that right there takes me up to $30. Tier 4, $20. That's $50. Tier 5, $25. That's $75. And tier 6, generally $30, unless, you know, I decide that I've got to have like a set which is 50 by itself, or 60 by itself in the case of a tier 6 trio. Now, for Discovery, rather than, say, paying like $120 total for everything, I'd be looking at $30 a fucking ship. And the answer to that is no. I don't care that much. I'd love to say I do, but I fucking don't. I'm not made of money. I may act like it now that I have a job, but I'm really not there yet. So, work. Let's talk work. Work is a thing that happens to me occasionally. And in this particular case, it's been a bit weird. I have, right now in my possession, paperwork that I'm going to have to turn in tomorrow that will, if done properly, switch my availability days so that I'm no longer losing my Saturday, or not my Saturdays, my fucking Tuesdays. So basically, from then on, when they start making the schedule, I will just have Tuesdays off by default. Which is exactly what I want.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Okay, now, let's cut up. No, come on, let's cut up. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I should hopefully have my Tuesdays soon. That'd be nice, you know, just go to Pokemon League every week without fail. And if I have that one day that's always off for me, then I can go even a step further beyond that and start scheduling collabs and shit like, hey, Star Trek people, guess what? We're going to play on Tuesdays. Hey, D&D people, we're going to play on Tuesdays. That kind of a thing. Because then I can have people revolve around that schedule. Because I only need from, 3:30 to 6:30 on Tuesdays for me. So it's not a particularly big deal if I, miss the rest of that day, because I just need my Pokemon League time. My bike has been a bitch and a half the past couple days. First off, I didn't have the thing a couple days and the tire went flat, although this was admittedly my fault because I apparently ran over a thorn, and the thorn naturally put a puncture in the tube. So I had to call my friend up. He came, picked me and the bike up, took us home. Hi. And that was that, basically. He fixed it. We're good. The other night, as I'm coming home from work, my handlebars start wiggling. That, for those not aware, is a bad thing. It implies a lack of stability in the bike, for one thing. So I've already been in here, and I could have just... Really, dude. Okay, fine. Alright, you want to play? Come here. You want to roar at me? Come here. Where'd you go? Want to roar? There you are. Come here, asshole. I will kill you fucking dead. Teleporting sack of shit. Come here. Where'd you go? Huh? There you are. Here. We'll fucking knife fight your ass. Come here. Where you going? Where you going, big boy? Can't outswim me. I got this thing. You're dead, asshole. Hey, hey, what's it like when you're minding your own business and some asshole comes and takes chunks out of you? Where'd you go? I'm here, come get me. Pussy. Anyway. So yeah, I managed to get home safely and immediately reworked my handlebars. Fortunately, I had a tool that would fix them and avoided missing any more work. So, I may have gone over this before, but let's recap for those who don't know. In Cap 2, my position, there is a job known as One Touch. One Touch's job is to sit in the back of the back room and receive boxes called break packs, which are just cardboard boxes filled with miscellaneous crap, ranging from clothes to anything that is not clothes. And our job is to sort all of the things into boxes and then deliver them to the people who need them. So when I sort shampoos into the health and beauty segment, I then have to deliver them so that the people stocking health and beauty can do so. Likewise, I do that for pharmacy, and to a lighter extent, things like chemicals, toys, whatever, we just put those in the pallet with the rest of them. But without One Touch, several sections of the store would just shut down for lack of shit to stock. Like, pharmacy and HBA do get carts, but the carts really don't stack up to the totes that we supply. And it's a pretty lengthy process most of the time. Also, I'm feeling kind of sick. But it can be a pretty lengthy process. Like, generally, you have to have everything out before you go to lunch. And you can't go to lunch until, you can't do any of that shit until that. Hey, asshole. Hey, you wanna die? Wanna die? Come here. Come here. I'm made of meat. Come get me. There you are. Fucking dead. How do you like that, you piece of shit? You're not gonna be bothering me anymore. Everyone tends to go to lunch around 6 o'clock, and you gotta have your shit done by 7, or else the whole thing grinds to a halt. Well, I basically got stuck on One Touch the past couple days. And forgive me if I seem a little scattered at the moment. It's because my stomach's feeling really queasy and my body is deciding whether or not it's going to throw up. And for some reason, my brain has to be involved in that decision-making process, so my commentary's a little more lackluster than usual. Alright, I don't think I have table coral. And even if I do, I can probably stand to have more, so we're going to go get some table coral. Winkles, get down. Psst. I had to stop so I could see my stopwatch again. So, I haven't really found time to see any movies lately, partly because I've been a little miserable in this heat. And partly because the bike, I'm still feeling out this new bike, getting my settings down to decide what's the easiest to move with, and so on and so forth. But I do intend to go see some movies soon. Speaking of movies, I actually rented a couple from the library. King Kong with Jack Black, which I have seen before, I just want to see it again. And Kong on Skull Island, which I have not seen before, and is now apparently required viewing if I want to know what the hell's going on in Godzilla in the near future. So that's fun. My dumbass could have just looked for the escape pod, but no, I gotta be a clever boy. So yeah, I've got Star Trek in the works. I My freebies for this month include Detroit Become Human, which I've never known what that was about. I have a vague idea from reading the blurb. Not that it would have mattered, I'd have got it anyway. It's free, right? But I know that Team 4-Star ran it, but I don't know really anything beyond that. So, I might let's play it myself. I might just play it for funsies. I might just forget that I have it altogether. I'm still waiting for my Switch to come in. I was waiting on two things, one being the Switch, the other being my controller skins, which I now have. Sadly, my disability check did not appear this month, so the computer's on hiatus until such time as I can afford it. And we'll see how that goes in the long run. But all's not bad. This week, actually, I have Friday off, and I have the following Saturday off as well. That just was a happy accident that I had 2 days off in a row like that. And the Saturday is so that I can go to Aquatica with my friend and his wife. Because I decided, we haven't gone to a theme park in a couple weeks. A month or two, really. We haven't. I went in June, I believe. Might have been May. But, no, I went in May for a Mother's Day thing for my mom. So, I went, but we did not go. And I'm like, hey, we should go to one of the Orlando parks. She's like, okay, SeaWorld or Aquatica? I'm like, let me get back to you on that. Because if I have money, SeaWorld. If not, Aquatica. Well, I had to make a bunch of emergency purchases, so Aquatica it is. Which I'm not mad. I love Aquatica. I really do. I don't love it as much as I love Adventure Island. But Adventure Island's close, that's much easier to get to. I could get just about anyone to drive me to Adventure Island because I get them in, for half off and more gold. I get them in for half off. I get good parking for them for free, So it's just a matter of, hey, who wants to drive to Tampa and go swimming? For Aquatica, Orlando's kind of a trip, I can't, for example, get my aunt to take me there. We've tried. Okay, I'm going to need some lead as well. I know I have one of these for coral. Oh, I had coral. Well, now I have more coral. Perfect. But yeah, I don't really do slides at Aquatica. It's more a case to get out and go swimming. I'm going to spend most of the day in the river because that's fun. Go on the dolphin slide a lot. See the dolphins? They're real cutie pies. Get in the other river where they have a tube and you basically go down a drain. That's fun. I need some lube. I forgot the lube. Gonna fuck the ocean, bring some lube. So, yeah, make of it what you will. I have been meaning for the past week to start doing 4-job Fiesta stuff, and I'm not doing it. I was supposed to do it today. I probably won't. I would have done it after this, but I'm feeling sick, so I'm probably just gonna lay down and be miserable for a little while. I'm trying so hard to work on 4-job Fiesta, especially since I'm pretty sure it ends in August, which means I'm going to want to get these videos out, get my donation in, and yeah.
New blueprint acquired. Be advised, the Cyclops is designed to be operated.
Oh, I really hope the water's deep enough for this goddamn thing.
Experienced townspeople should attempt to pilot this vehicle solo.
You're gonna laugh if this thing cracks in half on a fucking cliff. Okay, I do not believe I've ever shown this off, though. If you're familiar with Subnautica, you're familiar with the Cyclops. You go in, This is, for all intents and purposes, a mobile base. It comes with some half-assed lockers, as you'll see. They do not hold quite as much as a normal locker, but they do hold quite a lot. Going up this way, we can go into the engine room. Oh, it's not on the side I thought I was. This is a special Cyclops fabricator where you fabricate shit just for the Cyclops. Like the depth module. This thing's kind of cool because this will allow me to not burn as much juice. Shield, which I don't have yet. Sonar, which I don't have yet. Decoy tube, where like I'm getting chased by a Reaper Leviathan, fire this fucker off. You know. This has 6 power cells. This is where the decoy tubes go. And this is where you could just check things like this is how much health I have, how much energy, where my upgrades go, which I currently have none of. This is where I can dock my prawn or Seamoth, because this is basically a mobile base. We're at the bridge. Down here's the exit. This is for the floodlights. I can turn my inner lights off if I want to be all submarine-y. And if I don't want to draw attention, I can turn off my front lights too. Or turn them back on. Either way. This is where I can change the name, change the coloration. This is my repair thing. If things get busted up, this will go down and I'll have a little flashy thing saying, hey, fix this. I have a fire extinguisher, though one of the mods I can get is an auto extinguisher so that if I catch fire, it'll put itself out. Here's the helm. You got to turn the engines on. There are different settings. The higher the setting, the faster you go, but the louder you are and more likely to attract attention that you don't want. This is silent running. You will be completely silent and not attract much attention, but the trade-off is you will burn up your engines quick and start fires. Cameras, these are your primary ways of getting around because, let's face it, it's really awkward to steer this thing. This one's on the bottom, the keel. I tend to run it like this to act as a... Is that the turbine? Okay, I think this is the front then. But yeah, I tend to aim it in the front so I can just see down here like what I'm about to bump into, etc. Then you have the conning tower, which is the upward view of exactly what we just saw. And this is the screws, basically. You know, the engines. Like, hey, what's directly behind our engines kind of a thing. If we have decoy tubes, they fire here. And we're actually not going to do anything yet with the Cyclops. I just want to have it. Get it out of the way, as it were. Now, apparently, once upon a time, I say apparently like I didn't know this, once upon a time, before this was fully integrated when they were still doing builds and stuff, the Cyclops was completely invulnerable. So you just drive this thing right into Reaper Leviathans, play bumper cars until they die. You know, you'll get bumped around a bit, but who fucking cares, you know? Let me take a look at a thing real quick here. Interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna need some deep shrooms. 6 of them from the looks of things. Oh boy. Get to wait for those fuckers to grow in, I guess. But those will eventually spawn into something fun. In the meanwhile, I'm actually going to go looking for deep shrooms, because I'm pretty sure I have a beacon somewhere. Not there. Not there. No? That one, probably. So if I can get a total of 6 deep shrooms, I think I can get the polyaniline and the benzenite? Enough to make that engine efficiency module, and then I'll start tooling around in the Cyclops. Now I need to be careful because if this is going where I think it's going, I am going to potentially run afoul of a Leviathan. The downside to where I chose to set up shop in my personal game on my account is that it is near a ghost Leviathan, which they are unreasonably aggressive considering that they're plankton eaters. They basically have the mindset of if I don't have every scrap of my territory to feed on, I'll die, and you're eating my food, so I need to chase you off. Fortunately for me, I was smart enough apparently in that run at some point to engineer the defense up so I can take a hit from a Ghost Leviathan, and probably even a Reaper Leviathan, and not die. You know, supposing that I didn't run into 1,000 different things in the meantime. We're gonna drop this fucker right here. 'Cause yeah, I'm coming back for that silver. That is a readily mined source of silver. You bet your ass I'm coming back for that. Now, oh, there's more. What's this? Titanium. Ooh, nice. Wish I had another beacon, but I don't, so I won't bother with this right now. Oh, more titanium. Yeah, baby. And again, titanium, and the third one, isn't nearly as scarce as the other ones like copper and silver and so on. I have ways of getting titanium if I'm willing to wander around looking for them. Oh, perfect. That's exactly what I was after. I will pick as many as I physically can. Perfect. Now we go home. See, it wasn't that simple. So, yeah, God damn it, Kyrix. Learn to drive. So, as soon as I get my shit together, I'm gonna get on that. There's some things I still have to buy. The good news is I think 6 months in, I start being eligible for bonuses. Granted, mine are gonna suck until I burn off the 2 points that I have. I can't say that. It's basically, with 1 point, you get just your bonus, as opposed to 0 points where you get your bonus and then some. And 2 points, I think you get, like, most of your bonus, kind of a thing. You gotta be damn near on the verge of firing before your bonus doesn't happen. So we're gonna sit around and hope that I'm eligible for a bonus and that kicks in soon. Because that'll help me get some things. Sadly, one thing I won't be able to enjoy is my very first tax return when tax season rolls around again and I have to file for that shit. Because I've never made enough money to have to file taxes before. And it's going to suck for me. It really is. Because I've already committed that money, however much it is. Unless I make like over $3,000, which I don't know. Maybe people are like, huh, over $3,000 he says he's going to make 15 grand or something. I don't fucking know. I've never filed taxes before. All I know is my friends always get excited because they get a whole lot of money. And to me, fucking $1,000 is a whole lot of money. But I'm hoping to make at least $2,500 because I want to have Betsy and Willow's dental work taken care of. Because the last time they were at the vet, I was told, hey, they need teeth pulled and it's going to cost a lot of money. And I want them to be able to have those teeth pulled because they are my babies, and I don't like the idea that they have bad teeth that are hurting them and causing them pain. You know. Granted, they don't act like they're in pain, but cats are really good at hiding that shit. So, really? I had more deep shrooms in there. Okay, that's fine. Oh, I need salt. Okay. But, well, as it happens, I happen to have a fucking locker full of salt. Fuck it, let's make more. You never know when you're gonna need more of it, right? Right. But, I don't want them to potentially be in pain. Even if they're not showing it, just the idea that they're in any kind of pain at all really upsets me. So, if it's gonna cost me all my fucking tax return money to get that fixed, so be it. It's not like I'm used to having it anyway. I'm not gonna miss it if I never had it. Yeah, my girls do tend to take a priority for me. As they should. At the very least when it comes to things like medical stuff. Alright, so let's do another hydrochloric acid. And just like that, all those deep shrooms are used up. Just want to point out, I don't think bleach is going to get the salt out of water, which is what you need on an ocean world. It's not that the water's infected, it's that it's, you know, salty.
Vital signs stabilizing.
But yeah, that's basically what I'm looking at for that. Okay, let's take a look here. Gonna need some gold. Just one. Now, do I have any of the blood oil still? I do. Okay. Gonna need more though. That's gonna hurt a bit. There's another one. Okay, cool. Alright, and we'll just eat this gel pack because we can. And that thing should make its own blood oil vines pretty soon, which should be good for me. We're just gonna up and over this bitch this time. So yeah, I covered a lot of things. Oh god, I just realized I'm also gonna have to start getting those games reserved too. So Star Trek's gonna have to go on hold because I need those games. I can. It's gonna take me a while to finish the Romulan and Dominion arcs anyway, and those I already have everything I need for. Matter of fact, I don't have to spend a goddamn dime on the Dominion. I have every ship in the game. I have the race for the Dominion, I mean, and I have 3 Dominion Vanguard crew that I can just pull out of storage. So I don't need to spend a fucking dime to do the Dominion. And I'm not going to spend any more money on the Romulans for reasons that I cover in the actual Let's Play. But, yeah, I can do Star Trek whenever I fucking please. But I want to get these games reserved so that I can get them, you know, on release day. And on the subject of releasing games, I haven't had anything to improve or decrease my hype over the Fallen Order game for Star Wars. I'm still jazzed about the Ancestors game, where you basically evolve humanity. But every single piece of news I'm getting is making me less and less excited over Pokemon Sword and Shield, and that's really disheartening. Because here's the thing. It's a well-known fact that I hate the Sinnoh games. I hate pretty much everything about them. But let's say that at the time I had a DS, which I do not. Still don't have a DS. I have a 2DS and a 3DS, but not a DS. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that I did. And that Diamond and Pearl are coming out. Now, maybe I'm not thrilled about the names. They're dumb names. We know this. That's not what's important. What is important, however, is that if I'd heard all the features in that game, I'd have been pretty excited. I've been pretty jazzed, you know. Like, oh, moves are going to get better. That's cool. Hey, we're going to evolve some Kanto Pokemon. That's cool, too, you know. You know, shit like that. That's pretty thrilling news. But almost every single thing I hear from Sword and Shield is either something I don't give a shit about, like, oh, it's gonna be in Europe, basically. I don't care. I'm not really that concerned about the local culture. We're not gonna get to explore it, really. I mean, the two games that did that the most were, you know, Sun and Moon and X and Y, and even then, you know, you can get through a big part of the game without ever worrying about that shit. But, like, hey, we're going to remove a huge chunk of the Pokedex, and you're not going to get them ever. No, that's bad. And not for a got 'em, catch 'em all thing, but here's the thing. I put a lot of time and energy invested in getting every single Pokemon. And that's not hyperbole. I have all 809. I have 807 of them on Ultra Sun, and the other 2 are on Let's Go Eevee, that being Meltan and Melmetal. I went through a lot of trouble to get all of them. And I went through even more trouble to breed perfect battlers with perfect stats, and then to get them to level 100, and to train their EVs, and all this other shit. I went through a lot of goddamn work. And the idea that when everybody makes the transition to the Switch and we're all doing Sword and Shield, that any of these battlers that I poured my time and effort into are not going to be available, that sucks a dick. Like, let's say, just as an example, let's say Minccino and Cinccino don't make the cut. Well, Starlet is a Cinccino, and she is one of my staple Pokemon. Now, I'm not saying every team I have revolves around her, but if I were in the Pokemon anime, that's my Pikachu. You know, that's the Pokemon, like, oh, here's Kyrix and Starlet. You know, that's the Pokemon you associate with me. Misty and Staryu, you know, Ash and Pikachu, Kyrix and Cinccino. That's just how it works. And just the idea that that's not a thing, that could potentially not be a thing, is so beyond bullshit. Alright, I want to get this done first. I want to get the Cyclops shit out of the way. I've got 6 minutes before I got to turn this off. So once that's done, I can call it a day. I can install it and call it a day. Because if I don't install it, I'm gonna forget. Fucking computer chips. I don't have the stuff for a computer chip. Shit. At least I don't think I do. I mean, I don't have the copper for it. That's what I meant to say. I mean, if I do, then I do, and it'll get used, but I don't think I do. Nope. Okay, we're just gonna call it here. Bye-bye, everybody.